Hello, everyone, and welcome to the JMAA Live Deluxe podcast. I'm your host, JMAA Ariel, and unfortunately, apparently, Fungus is not gonna be probably in this podcast because she's been having problems with her teeth. So obviously, she's not able to talk too much on the podcast for now. Apparently, she's gonna have her teeth fixed next week or something, as far as I know. But at least we got a cool new guest that is gonna make up for the absence of Fungus, which his name is Sam Dealey. He him, I guess, is his pronouns, and yeah, he's here with us on the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I get a bit of a surprises in here, and that I gotta tell you on this podcast, but I'm not get ahead of myself too much, and I gotta ask you, not to get angry with me for this because it has something involving a very murky business that I've been critical of for lately. But
Okay,
I'm not getting too much ahead of myself yet. But yeah, we got
sure.
some interesting things to talk about in this podcast anyway. We actually promised to talk about NFTs, and yeah, NFTs are pretty much murky business as per usual, right? But like,
Well,
yeah, sorry,
yeah,
what?
I mean, anything that's, created by scam artists is going to be pretty murky, yes.
No, yeah, obviously, this is pretty much scam territory. So I know about this, but apparently, not only that, it's also causing like a severe damage to the environment at some degree. I don't know, like they're trying to improve this by saying they're like eco-friendly, trying to do like eco-friendly kind of stuff with the NFT shit. But like, it's still a
Well,
scam artist shit, isn't it?
their claim is that, oh, well, some technological advancement in the not too distant future is going to make it so that all these machines that we use to farm
Cryptocurrency.
the right to farm the coins won't produce all of the carbon or whatever the ecological impact that they currently have once we have this new technological breakthrough. But there's like two problems with that, and the first is that breakthrough isn't here yet.
Obviously,
uh,
I don't see it yet. Yeah,
I mean, like you're banking on like this thing that you don't know when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, and secondly, um, even if it did, even if even if there were no ecological impact to cryptocurrency at all, it would still just be swindling people out of money. Like that's the whole point of the system.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I know this kind of shit, right? And I think it's pretty fucking ugly business, obviously. And
Yeah,
not to mention, like like Dick Masterson said it once, it's like gonna blow up a bunch of smoke into a little rabbit's face at some point. So,
yeah,
unless they actually do something about it, about the environmental impact about it, uh
yeah.
it's yeah, they haven't like they made a promise obviously, but I don't see it happening yet. I know there's like some
Well,
cryptocurrencies that are like they claim to be eco-friendly in quotations because I'm not really 100% sure of it. Like I say, like what's the name, Cardano,
yeah,
all these shit coins that for most of the crypto bros don't matter anyone
but if
unless
they're
they're
making
Ethereum.
if they're making the claim to be like eco-friendly currently, either
Yeah, they're probably
excuse
like
me, excuse me, sorry,
sorry.
I had some gas. um, if they're making the claim of being eco-friendly currently, I would have to assume either a they're saying that like oh well we don't aren't farming enough coins to have that much ecological impact, which okay, sure, but like that also means that like your coin is going to be basically worthless if that's the case, right? Like you're not going to have enough coin in circulation for anybody to even want to have any of it if that's true. Not that anyone should want to have it anyway, because like obviously, a handful of people have gotten really rich selling it, but like that's only because like whoever's left holding the bag, holding all these coins at the end, when the bottom falls out and the coins become worthless, will have no money at all. Like so.
Like, yeah, we've seen like even to the point of anti-capitalist means of like using cryptocurrency will obviously be either hard to do or like either failing on their ass. I'm not sure. Like, I know I can probably easily blame myself for all this, but I'm not getting ahead of myself too much. But like, yeah, they claim like these eco-friendly cryptocurrencies are like proof of stake cryptocurrencies. That's just like yet another fucking buzzword for all these fucking crypto bros, honestly.
Proof
Yeah,
of stake, proof
but
of stake versus proof of work. Yeah, I there was a video put out recently by, I think it was Folding Ideas.
yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah,
a really thorough documentary about it that like outlines like all of the reasons why like um it isn't, it's never been what anyone claimed that it was going to be, that it's not like the people's currency, it's not, it's not taking power away from government, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, and that's the complete irony of it. And like, yeah, it's yeah, environmentally it might not be very friendly, to be honest, if you're able to say that. But yeah, by the way, have you heard like, about the Bored Ape Judge Club neo-Nazism controversy that was going on recently?
um I think I like vaguely heard something about there being some fascists involved in some cryptocurrency, but like my response to that is like, well, yeah, I mean, like because there are fascists everywhere. So, like, obviously, there are going to be like on any new hot new quote unquote technology, there are going to be some fascists involved somewhere because they just want to
Yeah,
have their hands in any pie,
yeah, well,
which isn't
yeah.
any different than anybody else. Like, there's anywhere there are going to be people, there are going to be some fascists probably.
No, yeah, I know. But apparently, I wrote recently an article about the Board Judge Club neo-Nazism controversy, which was derivated from like a website made by Ryder Rips. It goes on to say that there's coded Nazi messages in like the Board Ape Judge Club branding and team members. And even
Huh.
like, for example, like the skull of like the Board Ape Judge Club logo, it resembles like the Totenkopf skull from the Waffen SS, right? It
Oh
has
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
amount of teeth,
Yeah, that
18
sounds
teeth to be
familiar.
precise, like the initials of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah,
And
that comment sounds familiar.
yeah, and obviously some of the team members are named after like neo-Nazi dog whistles. Yuga Labs is named apparently after like the Kali Yuga dog whistle that neo-Nazis make. Like derivated from some Western philosopher who imported it from like Hindu philosophy for some reason. But it's like a
Hmm.
Nazi dog whistle. And there's other team members who are, one is named Gargamel, which is like an anti-Semitic depiction of a Jewish man in the Smurfs. There's also like there's a guy called like Emperor Tomato Ketchup, who's like the name of like a banned film that like features a small child dressed as a Nazi dictator raping an adult woman. I mean,
Mm.
it's kind of getting ugly there, but like
Yeah, that's pretty
most
gross.
of it, it's like Nazi dog whistles apparently, and like this guy Ryder Rips pointed it out in like a website called like Gordon Goner, which is the name of another owner of Board Ape Dutch Club, Gordon Goner, which like like a dog
Oh, Goner,
whistle.
yeah.
Yeah, like a
Gordon
dog
Goner, yeah.
whistle name after like Drongo N word. And
Hmm.
yeah, just quite a lot. I took my article derivating from that. So I don't know. I guess I called it. I did like before my beauty was banned. I did a video saying how Nazis love fucking NFTs, and
Right, yeah.
like, should I act surprised? I don't know.
Yeah. I think I remember Shark 300 talking about Gordon Goner and some of this same stuff on one of his streams.
Yeah, Gordon. Yeah, Gordon Gano is a kind of funny name because it's obviously a fucking dog whistle, and like the result of like naming his website GordonGoner.com is that Ryder Rip's website got into like the first results of like Google if you search the owner's name on Google.
Mm,
I
yeah.
know that's kind of like a low, kind of like a blow in there. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, are you all surprised for this? Like I told many times, fucking Nazis like Stone Toss and Sam Hyde and all that shit love this kind of shit because it exemplifies hyper capitalism in some way. And now you got it. Now Bored Ape Dutch Club is welcome to the fucking Nazi club. Apparently, well, that's
Right.
that's something.
Yeah. Well, fascism is capitalism in crisis. So
Yeah. Well, that's pretty fucking obvious. Well, that's
yeah.
Board A Dutch Club. I know that's gonna affect the bottom line of like the Board A Dutch Club image or PR, but I hope it goes tanking down like the rest of NFTs. I'm willing to
Yeah.
believe anything as long as it gets me rid of NFTs because I already, yeah, by itself, I'm willing to believe anything that will destroy NFTs and like make it fucking real so I can destroy
Yeah.
NFTs. I
Well,
don't
like
know.
Bitcoin was bad enough because like Bitcoin, like uh, they made the claim that like, oh, well, this isn't like other money. What it basically is. I mean,
Yeah,
more or less. I mean, there's some like it is only a very minor. Bitcoin is only a very minor change from like regular national currencies like the euro or the dollar. Um, but then you add NFTs on top of it, and we're like, okay, so what is an NFT? Well, you own a link that
nothing.
you own a link, like a reference to a thing. Like you don't own the thing, you just own like
No, yeah, that's literally
you
nothing.
you you own this like digital finger pointing at this other thing.
It's a smoke. Yeah, it's fucking smoke. They're selling you smoke,
Yeah, exactly.
and what do you fucking expect? Like Nazis are gonna fucking obviously love this type of scams a lot. I
Yeah.
don't know, not surprising at all. Oh well, who cares? Yeah, and like the amount of scams and deceptive practices there are there. I mean, I already seen like folding ideas this video about how fucking scammy and scummy as NFTs are, and like how it involves like a lot of fucking bigger fool scams, which basically boils down to that a bigger fool scam which it's really bad. A lot of pump on dump, a lot of fucking Ponzi schemes, like whatever it is, you can name every single scam available is gonna be there. Like
Yeah.
Jesus, oh
Yeah.
Jesus,
Well, yeah, it's it just occurred to me just now that like Bitcoin and NFTs basically are like the QAnon of money.
the QAnon of money.
Yeah, so it's like the money version of QAnon.
I might not be surprised if QAnon starts using Ethereum or something.
Oh, well, I'm sure there are QAnon people using. cryptocurrency.
I mean, are you telling me that basically the same people who believe that Donald Trump is gonna become president forever and there's gonna be a new dollar currency that will dominate and all of a sudden their debts are gonna be forgiven? The same people are believing this NFT nonsense.
The people who are still waiting for the ghost of JFK Jr. to come back to Dallas, where his father was assassinated.
Jesus.
To deliver some amazing message that's gonna topple a global pedophile ring, and these same people, they're gonna top this global pedophile ring. No comment, none whatsoever on fucking Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Sorry, Ghislaine Maxwell, which really on the nose, that name there.
It's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very strange. Might as well hire the fucking mystery man from Scooby-Doo. I know who's gonna be the ghost this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jesus. They put NFT ads on Times Square. Like everywhere you go in New York or Times Square, there's gonna be either NFT graffitis and NFT ads. What the shit? That's how they spend their disposable income generated by NFTs, not by helping the poor, not by helping marginalized voices, but just putting big ass digital billboard shit on Times Square.
Yeah. Spending huge amounts of money to advertise that they own.
It's like a cycle.
A sign that points at some other bad piece of art.
And oh shit.
I shouldn't say that. I mean, art is subjective. I'm sure somebody really enjoys all those,
but any Twitter artist, any Twitter artist can be hesitant to post any art on Twitter. They decided to post it on Times Square.
Right.
That's all.
I'm just saying, I don't want to, get on people's case for liking the art. The art is fine. I mean, it's subjective. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's just
Yeah, especially considering I'm not the one to criticize any kind of art because my art is obviously not the best. But even then, I tell you again,
hammering it into the NFTs, that's really the problem.
Yeah, well, and I tell you again, any artist will be hesitant, or artist or game developer will be hesitant to post that kind of stuff on Twitter or anything. And yet they put it on Times Square. It's not even when they post MMOs, NFT MMOs on Times Square, they're not even finished. They look like early alpha stuff that you see on Twitter that people will be hesitant to post.
Yeah.
And it's why will you put that on a giant digital billboard for everyone to see on Times Square?
Yeah.
And okay, Times Square, by the way, any better use of using the Times Square digital billboards will be if I will put my own website's ad on there. That will be completely badass, honestly. I'd be willing to have anyone.
I would love to be able to advertise on Times Square, yeah. But there's no way that I can afford that.
Well, I'll be willing to have anyone with a disposable income to have it for me to put my own website's ad on Times Square. I think I already made it or I posted on TikTok, I posted it or maybe Instagram or something. It's a video that's 30 seconds long, but I want that on Times Square. And if anybody listening to this might be having the disposable income to put at least for one day on Times Square on a giant ass billboard up there, right? Basically, just fucking do it. I'd be willing to have something like that, and feel free to take a video of that too and send it to me. Uh, I dare you. I dare you. Anybody that has the disposable income to do that, I'd be willing.
Oh,
And yeah, like imagine this, like this sort of like NFT technology is gonna be in gaming too for some reason. Like fucking
oh yeah.
Konami and EA and all that shit
Well,
are into
you
that
know,
shit.
it's like I was saying about the fascists, right? Like it is just a hot new tech, and everybody wants to be in it because they don't realize that it's a scam. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
only reason anybody is flocking to it.
it's
It's
very
just like,
trendy.
yeah, right. It's just like Beanie Babies, right? Like
Yeah, like
I've been
digital Beanie Babies. I'm gonna
watching
make
the day,
NFTs of Beanie Babies too.
or the old, the Tickle Me Elmo craze, or like grandmothers who are like punching each other out in the toy store over the Tickle Me
World
Elmo.
Star
It's like
Hip Hop
spend,
NFTs.
spend, spending $30,000 on one Tickle Me Elmo doll, like 18 years
Oh
later, like
gee.
the
Oh,
kid like
you could buy a
excuse
Tickle
me,
Me
like
Elmo
like
anywhere for a
like
way smaller price than that.
like like well, right, but at the time, like they were the hot item, and everybody wanted it for their kid for Christmas, and so like there were
Oh yeah.
stories of people that had spent like 30 grand on one Tickle Me Elmo doll, and we're like, you know, 18 years later, the kid like, tell me again why I can't go to college. well, when you were 3, you were really into Sesame Street.
Who isn't into Sesame Street these days? I don't know. I was into
Yeah,
Sesame Street as a kid. I don't know about it. But yeah, well, imagine like the Beanie Babies company making Beanie Baby NFTs.
Ty. Yeah.
We'll,
Well,
we'll, we'll start again the whole.
that would honestly not surprise me either. I would be totally like not shocked at all to hear
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Ty was trying to do some kind of NFT thing with the Beanie Baby.
Yeah, well, apparently I heard also about this project from a YouTuber named Nerd City. It's an NFT project. It's called the Dead Avatars Project. They claim it's gonna be ethical at some degree to like being proof of stake or environmentally friendly and all everything, which I'm pretty skeptical of. But
Dead
they're doing this
avatars?
because they're doing the research for a video on the Tryhard series.
Dead
I don't
avatars
know.
or data avatars?
Yeah, it's deadavatars.com, in case you
Data.
don't know.
Okay.
It's like NFTs of like skeleton dudes, like bony, randomly bones kind of people, right? Like like Dark Souls skeletons kind of thing. It's
Ah,
like
gotcha.
skeleton avatars apparently with googly eyes and everything, and like they're gonna just try to make like a tryhards part of like NFTs with that in mind. Which tryhards, in case you don't know, it's like a series of videos detailing on like the tryhard part of being a content creator, like I don't know, building your merch or like building an Instagram audience, that sort of crap. And it involves also like hiring artists for sort of making t-shirts or whatever, or like promoting Instagram or like Reddit, Facebook, or stuff like that. I think it's a great video series, but I don't know how they're gonna tackle this on like the NFTs, like the NFT quiz and everything. I don't know what it has something to do with like content creators on YouTube, because even heard like YouTube Susan Wojcicki is interested in like the NFT shit. But I what is like I know some content creators are like into NFT business. Probably a
Wojcicki
few
being
of
the
them.
the Wojcicki being the CEO of YouTube, right?
Yeah, the CEO of YouTube. She said
Yeah.
she was interested in using NFTs or something for like
Mm.
who knows what. Like, we mentioned already that is like the previous episode of a podcast with Fungus, and like I think the whole point that she wanted to do with NFTs is that I don't know, maybe the thumbnails or videos are gonna become NFTs or something. I have no fucking clue. Either way, it's pretty bad. It's just pretty bad. But what Nerd City does, or at least is probably trying to do, is like sort of the showcase on a YouTube research video how do real content creator tryhards are doing it on like say the business of being a content creator or something, right? Like first time it was like being a tryhard on like Instagram by from like people like Tana Monju and like whatever
Oh,
it
this
is
is
that any Instagram influencer can be. Later they tried on like merch because apparently Jake Paul was doing like shitty merch and they wanted to showcase how to do even way better merch as a content
mhm.
creator. And now they're probably maybe showcasing with the NFT thing that how do try hard content creators are doing it with NFTs, which I don't know how it will turn out, but you know, fucking Nerd City doing NFTs is kind of a turnoff still because you're still dealing with a scam territory, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And
Uh,
like, yeah,
you're right. You're still just getting on that bandwagon that's gonna collapse underneath everybody. So
yeah.
um,
I don't know how much the bandwagon is gonna last. Honestly, I'm
I
just
found an
saying.
article on The Verge about what Wojcinski was saying to Susan at YouTube. Um, from The Verge, YouTube CEO hints at potential NFT features. Susan Wojcicki says the company is looking to, quote, help creators capitalize on emerging technologies. So,
Yeah,
but
well, that's what we probably mentioned in
it
like
sounds
the last
like
episode. Yeah.
it sounds to me like the idea is that like they're thinking like, oh, well, we can add something into the YouTube interface that will like help a creator like submit their video
Open sea or something, right?
to submit their video to the to
Yeah, to the
Ethereum,
blockchain.
right? So that video can become an NFT, which again, not surprising to me, but like sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say something, and I bet I'm gonna ask you not to be angry with this, but I
Sure.
tried to like a couple experiments here, right? And it involves NFTs.
Okay.
So in order to like showcase how at least how ugly the business of making NFTs are, or maybe possibly how can we make an anti-capitalist use of like NFTs or something,
Uh-huh.
even though it's gonna fail on my ass, obviously. I
Sure.
minted like a couple NFT projects so far. I'm trying to mint like a couple NFT projects here. One is like the Christfog Deluxe thing that I minted as a single NFT. And like the other is like the Psychobongs NFT collection, which is like the kind of more collectible kind of shit in case it works better, right? The problem is
Okay.
minting this shit is a fucking hellhole.
Mm.
It's like at least with the Psychobong shit, I don't know. I'm still uploading the fucking images to like RPFS to like be able to like link it there from like the minting process or whatever. And like it's already 27%. It's been here for like hours uploading fucking images. It's like 10,000 images of Britbong fucking made into NFT shit. And like
Mm.
I gotta upload them all. I gotta upload all the metadata of that. I gotta mint everything and like even listing it on OpenSea, all the 10,000 of them is a living fucking nightmare
Yeah.
because at least you gotta do individually with each and every one of the NFT shit that you minted. You can list individually each and every one of them on OpenSea, which is a fucking pain in the ass. So like, at this point, I'm basically doing it so you don't have to showcase how fucking ugly this shit is, unless unless you got the resources and the manpower or whatever capitalist bullshit you're willing to put into to be able to do this shit. So honestly, don't fucking do it. I lost an actual body because of this. I'm dead serious. Because I thought, oh, I was into the fucking grip for some reason. No, I just wanted to showcase how fucking ugly shit is. Maybe some anti-capitalist use can be pulled out of this eventually or something. Maybe just a tiny bit. Maybe it will help anyone seize the means of production or whatever. But Jesus, it's so fucking ugly. At this point, I'm willing to like sell the shit to like the crypto bro fucking suckers who might buy into the shit. And yeah, but especially like the Psychobong shit, which is NFT collection like based on like in spite of Britbong, right?
Yeah.
The fucking guy who's like stalking me and shit. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to sell it to any crypto bro sucker who might be into that shit. I don't know, like, maybe we'll have $40 or something for each. I don't care. Whatever. It's a stock shit. Pure dog shit. I just got myself into some pure dog shit here. And I regret every single second of it. My God. Do you get where I'm going with this?
I mean, it certainly would be nice to think that there might be some anti-capitalist use for NFTs at some point, but like, you know, it's like ultimately like you're trying to con the con man to accomplish that, and
yeah,
it just seems so risky.
Yeah, I even saw like one YouTube cartoon about a Wojak who tries to sell his own NFT. And like the point is, he ended up gaining what he spent on gas fees to mint that NFT. You know what gas fees are, right? Like you spend a little bit of money on gas fees so you can mint an NFT, or at least in Ethereum, right? Not on Polygon. So like he wasted the gas fees, $200 or something. Then he get the deadline for like his bidding for 1 Ethereum for his NFT. Fucking meets the deadline, but it gets an offer for $200. As long as he somehow gets rid of like the commission royalties, which like is usually at 10% for like an NFT collection, right? And then he sells it for like $200. Then later the next day, he figures out that same NFT has been resold by Jake Paul for $10 million, and they basically got nothing.
Right, yeah, because
he got rid of the commission royalties. Like a fucking moron.
Because somebody just asked them to, like.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. Got scammed by his ass. And like, honestly, I wouldn't get rid of the commission royalties, honestly, for that means I will get a constant flow of like funds for it. Maybe it helps. Maybe I'm gonna probably donate what I earn from all these NFTs for like, I don't know, say a charity like Kogam or Black Lives Matter or something. That would be really helpful. But apparently, promoting this shit, at least promoting it so you're able to find potential buyers for this shit, is hard as fucking hell. You can't even get me started on the amount of promotional NFT spam bots that I got, which are all paid promotions. They like once you DM them, they ask you to pay for promoting your NFT, and it's oh god.
Well, it's a market.
Like again, like poor people get screwed by this, and like rich people get even richer with this shit.
Uh-huh. Yep. Well, I
It's
mean, that is that is the world's oldest con, is it not? Like the rich get richer.
oh
um,
yeah, like it's like hyper capitalism shit as per usual.
yeah.
And like I don't know what kind of fucking anti-capitalist uses you can probably use of NFTs, but like please, if that's not gonna happen, stay away from that shit. Don't do my mistakes. If
Yeah.
that means it's not gonna turn like NFTs into something that can be used for anti-capitalist uses. I even wrote in my manifesto, right, that any tool that capitalism gives you can be used to fight against capitalism and fascism. But if that tool is not even useful for that, just fucking quit it.
Yeah.
It's just oh god. Okay. That out of the way. I don't want to spend too much time talking about NFT shit at this point.
Sure.
The business is already murky, and honestly, I don't want to get too much into it. Maybe I'm gonna get something out of it. I don't fucking know. I don't care at this point. But that's what there is. I don't know. Maybe Psychobonks is gonna come soon, as soon as I get done with this fucking uploading and metadata uploading and minting shit that I gotta do, which will take hours at this point, several days even to do. And yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Mm.
It's kind of nonsensical. Yeah, so on a more positive note, I was willing to have every guest like tell a personal story that will somehow sort out like the usual doom scrolling that people listeners can do on a regular basis. So, have you got any personal story that you can tell that will probably maybe cheer someone up or something?
Um, a personal story that is uplifting. Uh, man, you
You can't think of
some-
anything, right?
somebody should have hit me with that beforehand.
I should
um,
probably pass you
I,
the list of subjects on the
like,
podcast, but yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, I I know that that I have some uplifting stories. I'm just not sure if I can like pull one out of my brain at this particular moment.
Oh yeah.
Um,
If you don't
the
have anything at the moment, just I don't know, whatever. Just I don't know. We'll pass on to the next thing, or like I don't know, whatever you want, you dude.
this this week this week in particular has been
Mm-hmm.
kind of challenging for me because I've been working on this I've been working on a video project that has a very frustrating personal story in it, and so I've been losing sleep over that. So
Yeah, I was
um,
willing to see that kind of video, but I got banned on YouTube apparently, so I don't know how I'm gonna probably see it or find the channel anyway, because I don't exactly remember like what was the exact name of a YouTube channel or whatever, but I can probably see it, yeah. In secret.
well, getting
Because
access to view it probably won't be a real challenge.
no, yeah, I know your name and shit. But I gotta keep the likes and I gotta keep myself from commenting on videos because I'm using like some sort of like quote unquote personal account, and like the basic gist of it, I don't upload content there or whatever. So like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
staying away from YouTube for like uploading content or whatever. So I all I can do possibly is like view the video and like maybe that's
yeah,
it. I'll probably subscribe. But as long as I keep my head down, so like basically gist of it, I'm always like bad debating on YouTube for some reason. So like I can't
sure.
like I need to keep my head down basically on
Yeah,
on
no,
any on any YouTube account that I use lately.
I don't mind at all. I'm not like fishing for
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah. How's that video going anyway?
um it is uh so this week in particular I just finished up the probably the hardest like emotionally the hardest part of the story for me to tell. Um, so it's there's a lot of anger there. Like there's a lot of like me like yelling at the camera. um,
Oh
uh,
God, yeah.
but it also is like that also is like me getting over the hump because like um, uh, I'm now over halfway through completing it. Um, so that's good. I think I'm nearly done. I should be able to finish it up in another week or so. Editing is where, like for me, like I see a lot of people on YouTube who um, will just like um, uh, talk talk at the camera for a few minutes and throw up a video. And I'm not my videos like I put a lot of like graphics on screen and whatnot, and so my videos take a lot of
Effort, yeah.
yeah. It takes me a long time to produce a video because I'm hunting down like the pictures and you know um, putting them onto the
Yeah,
getting them into the
takes me
editor and
to a lot of
etc.
effort when I used to edit my own videos and shit. And like,
Yeah.
I even hire my another editor to do the other stuff as well. So like, it takes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fucking time, honestly. And by the way, what's the video about again?
This particular video is about how the myth of meritocracy hurts people with invisible disabilities like autism or ADHD or bipolar
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever. That like it, we've been sold this idea that like
Well, if
uh,
you work hard, you'll make it,
right,
right?
yeah, that everybody can have whatever they want. They just have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And it's just there's just so much evidence that is not the case.
Well,
um,
they keep saying like, if you keep the hustle, you'll get the grind. I don't know, whatever. If
yeah,
you keep the
that
hustle, you got the carrot, man.
yeah,
You get the gold. Like it's bullshit. Yeah, well,
and
no, it's kind of bullshit.
invisible disabilities are like especially a problem because like um, when somebody is uh, we can sometimes, not always, convince people, for example, that like children don't deserve to starve because their parents are poor, or that a person who is paraplegic and obviously like needs a wheelchair, that you know we can convince people that like that these people need help. But like with an invisible disability like autism, where like somebody just, you know, they just maybe they just look a little awkward. Like it's real hard to convince people that like no, that it's not just looking a little awkward. Like it is way worse than that.
Yeah. And as a person with autism, I can also I've been working like with around 10 years of this shit, or like over 10 years of the same job, and you can easily notice that
Yeah.
even if I keep grinding my shit to the teeth, I will get
Hmm.
basically nowhere at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
eventually at some long term in the future, but it doesn't seem to like the grind is not being able to pay it off, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I bought into it. When I was first diagnosed 15 years ago, I, my first instinct was that, oh, well, now that I know, I'm just going to like buy all the books that I can, and I'm going to, read as much as I can about social skills, and I'm going to learn, where I fucked
Yeah.
up. And, 15 years later, I've now come to the realization that, like, oh no, like there is scientific research that proves that, like, it you're not gonna just overcome it by learning social skills from books. It is just not a thing that can happen. You literally need society to change in order for you to be able to just basically function.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually true. A lot of problems. So, like, it's like with the charity shit that they do on Oxfam and all that shit with all these starving African children and everything. Like, I find it kind of particularly problematic because it always has to rely on common ground proletariat citizens to do that sort of shit, to like sort of sort it out on like through world countries, when in fact you can go way back to colonialism days with all the bourgeoisie class doing it, like making it sure like third world countries become third world countries by themselves. And like,
Mm.
who's to
Yeah.
blame here, really? They put the blame on us for like being indifferent to that shit, but who's really indifferent about it is like the higher class people, like the bourgeoisie shit. Like,
Yeah. The kings and queens and other colonizers, the
yeah,
ones that
or
had
like,
all the money and the power.
you're
Yeah.
like the executives are corporations or presidents at some fucking government. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's like an easy way to deflect the blame on us because we're somehow unaware or ignorant about starving children in Africa for some reason. But that's like a problem beyond our fucking hands to be able to solve. That's on like the governments and like the corporations to do, on like to sort that shit out with the problems that colonialism actually caused.
Yeah.
And it already gone out of hand because colonialism did such fucking damage to those countries. Which, by the way, there were once rich countries at some point in history, like Africa or
Yeah.
India, whatever. There were once rich countries, but apparently colonialism that fucked it up completely.
Yeah. Yeah. People just, piled in and stole everything, plundered all of, what they had for themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the problems in society or like the world that happen on a global scale regarding the disparage between poor people and rich people are not on us to solve, or like the lower class or like the proletariat people, like the poor people.
Yeah.
It's a problem that the higher class people it can like sort it out but are not willing to.
Right.
And they like keep lying on us about the meritocracy bullshit all the fucking time. Like, oh,
Right.
it's all
Yeah.
in our hands. Do you want to be poor? Do you want to keep being poor? Do you want to be rich? You just start thinking like a rich person, dude. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
start thinking like a rich person, or else
Think,
you don't want to stay poor. Like that's some bullshit.
think and Grow Rich, or the Secret. Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. It's also like the usual fucking shark mentality thing, or whatever the
Mm.
fuck it's called. Which is also some capitalist pseudoscience. But yeah, no.
Mm.
There's like also this guy who keeps telling me my internet career is over. Coincidentally, he's like the guy who like helped me flag like these Britbong slanders videos or whatever about me, and like
Mm-hmm.
so all of a sudden this guy is acting all uppity on me, like saying my internet career is over because somehow I'm like bad. I was banning on YouTube and I got banned for it. And like, what the fuck is up with these people? Like,
Mm.
obviously, this kind of person will be the kind of person who will go back at Kiwi Farms to cry about me. That sort of fucking piece of shit. And I will not be surprised if he comes up to Kiwi Farms to like cry about me about this or whatever. But by the way, I'm just here to tell that even if some doors are closed and some opportunities are closed at the moment, there's plenty of other opportunities out there to like come across, right? Like that's the main reason I'm making a podcast, using the website more. Like people don't like understand. Like it's like everything that is a problem has like a solution. Like as long as you put the effort
Mm,
into it, you know.
I, mm, that sounds to me like meritocracy again.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I keep like sort of trying to make it with my website and like my Instagram, my Facebook, or like my JMA TV Twitter or JMA Games Twitter. The hopefully like the Twitter presence that I had that I haven't got banned yet. And like my TikTok, I'll keep uploading videos to TikTok still. I don't know how he didn't get me on that one. Britbong, that piece of shit. But I don't know. Oh, by the way, there's some good news about it. Apparently, Britbong got karma,
Mm.
and like a while after I got banned on YouTube and Twitter, at least on my one half of my Twitter, he also got banned of YouTube and Twitter. Can you imagine why it is? Can you guess?
um,
Can you guess why the fuck did he get banned of YouTube and Twitter? Take a wild guess. Take a wild fucking guess.
Brickbong, I would assume probably hate speech.
Well, yes, most likely, but also bannerbating. He
Oh yeah,
keeps
yeah,
like doing the shit over and over, like bannerbating on multiple YouTube accounts and Twitter accounts. Like, obviously the same shit that I will be doing, right? But like, at least I'm not such a piece of shit. I'm not such a
mm,
hateful piece of shit like I am currently. I mean, I used to be, but like this guy, Jesus Christ. If you look at like his previous Twitter account, like the last one that got banned, it's all like misogynistic and like hateful shit, which
mm,
I mean, it's pretty obvious from the get go. And like he keeps posting about, oh, how women are worthless or something, like some shit about that.
yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ. And like, not to mention this guy's an obvious criminal. Like, there's evidence out there of this guy doxing people and like sending CP to people and like all that shit. Like, and I'm here to pay for the fucking plates here with all this Kiwi Farm shit haunting, keeping my past haunting me. It's just
mm,
weird, man.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how the fuck does like these sort of people, these Kiwi Farms people, like keep helping my past, keep haunting me. Like it's just baffling to me. And I know I gotta clean my reputation
Yeah, well,
fully for still, right? But like, I'm doing my best, obviously.
yeah,
But there's gonna be
I
still
get
these
that.
people who are gonna just sliding into everywhere I go. Everyone who
I
interacts with me and like, oh,
I get that.
this JMA
Yeah,
person is like
well,
a
it's
Nazi,
like
and like, yeah,
so much of um, so much of their uh, excuse me.
yeah, no,
Um,
no problem.
so much of their headspace ends up being occupied by uh, like revenge. It really like revenge really drives them so much that like once you've become sort of entangled with them, it's really hard to get away because like they just don't they just won't ever let something go because like that's just
Yeah, like,
it's the whole revenge thing.
yeah,
Um,
like even if I mind my own business and like not do anything to the guy, he still like has me living inside his head rent free.
yeah.
Like that's
Um,
the most obvious
there's a
shit.
there's a researcher by the name of Carol Dweck,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a 3-part video on my YouTube channel about her, research. She's talking about something called the mindset model, and it uh, it's. I mean, there's a reason why this was a 3-part video.
Well,
So it's not like the easiest stuff to explain. I can't really explain the whole thing, on the podcast. But
yeah.
the sort of thumbnail synopsis is that there's a funny thing that happens when you kind of when you have this belief, this kind of a fetishization of genetics as an explanation for how things have played out, in the world or in your life. So, if you inevitably, if you look at the works of fascists, they're always obsessed with genetics, and those things go hand in hand, because the reason why fascists lie all the time is because they internally are incredibly insecure about the idea that they don't measure up to this standard that they have set for themselves. That the white supreme race, right? They in their head are thinking but I'm not this ubermensch that white people are supposed to be, and that is why they end up feeling like they have to lie all the time, because they don't believe that a person is capable of becoming more than they start out as, right?
Yeah.
You are just whatever it is that you are, whatever you manage to accomplish, it is only, in their mind, the result of your genes. You notice, and Donald Trump was obsessed.
Yeah,
with
well,
this
your
too.
genes can be actually a mixed bag of sorts, right? Like, you can
Right,
be
yeah,
exactly one thing or another.
Right, your genes are, you're going to get some stuff that's helpful to you and some stuff not so much. It's not that. It's not that. Uh, uh, you can work your way out of any situation, like the myth of meritocracy says, but rather that even though that's true, even though you can't always work your way out of a situation, you need to maintain that attitude that working on problems is at least going to help, because if working on the problem can't help, then the only other alternative is to lie and cheat and steal, right? So,
yeah. I mean, it's not a big surprise, because quite frankly, Brett Bong is quite a fucking liar all the time. Like, lying about everybody else being mad about him. Like, that's the basic lie he can pull out. Like, everything, he gets trolled every time, and he's like, oh, they're getting mad at me, so they're doing this, and that. So, I'm not mad, hashtag not mad. Like, that's the usual shit. And, it's very telling, honestly, and that's actually a right kind of theory over there, because quite frankly, it applies even to the saddest human being like Brett Bong is. And imagine this, even then you have to lie about your fucking hate. He's 5'4". He's like a manlet. He's measured probably the same than a fucking gnome. So he has to lie about his hate all the time. And not only that, he also got a red tip penis.
I I'm 5'4", and I don't give a shit. Like,
No, yeah, I
I'm
don't
still,
give a shit about my height either. But like, if she's so willing
I'm
to like brag about, oh, being so taller than
yeah,
me
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit,
I'm
like
I'm
he's
short.
lying through
I'm
his
short.
teeth.
I'm short and I'm pudgy and I have bad teeth. Yeah, okay, fine. I just I work on other things. I work on my improving my comedy.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But yeah,
Trump,
that's some shit.
Trump lied a lot about the same sorts of things. Like uh, Trump would say like would make the White House tell people that he's like 6'4" or 5" or something, and then there'd be like photos of him next to people that are 6'2" and taller than he is.
Yeah, it's also like very fat.
they,
He's
he,
like, it's
he,
like,
he
wasn't this
made
like
he
this?
made
Yeah.
he made people in the White House edit photos to make his fingers longer in the photo because he
Oh,
was
what?
insecure about people saying that he had small hands.
Well, I remember there was this photo of like Trump golfing or something like that, where like you could see like he's wearing big diaper shit.
Or
I don't remember what it is, but like,
the
jeez.
one where he's out golfing and he's like climbing up the hill and it's just very apparent that he's heavy and out of shape.
Yeah, he's really fucking out of shape, obviously, because obviously he's pretty fat.
Yeah.
He looks like fucking I don't know, Humpty or no, not Humpty Dumpty. Like what's the character of the fat guys on Alice in Wonderland, like Tweedledee and Tweedledum kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably as fat as
Well,
Alice's Tweedledee and Tweedledum for some reason.
and to be fair, being heavy is not actually an
No, it's
indication
not an indication of
of
bad
health.
health. Yeah.
But like they get all insecure about it because societally we've been trained to think of it that way.
Yeah, well, like I said, people with rich billionaire people with small dicks tend to act like fucking dicks to compensate for the small penis size. So, there's a bit of insecurity there in Trump when he's got having like this small dick energy that
Mm-hmm.
forces him to compensate for his small penis size by
Yeah,
being a fucking dick.
yeah,
I already wrote that on my website, right? Like, generally, rich billionaires have to be dicks with people and, like, exploit workers and everything because they got really tiny penises. I don't have anything wrong with, like, tiny penises or whatever. I mean, tiny penises are cute and shit, but don't act like a dick to compensate for your small penis size. That's what I'm saying,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
I guess there
yeah.
was I saw I'm pretty sure it was meant to be comedic, like they were like trolling somebody. There was this like um uh small dick club, like the guys that were proud of their small dicks.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty sure something like that. Anyway.
Which is,
Well,
you know,
yeah, about something else. Just like, yeah, this guy on Reddit who slided in like in my Reddit replies that was
mhm,
like in a subreddit. I think it was the H Bomber guy subreddit, right? And it's apparently he's coming from Doom World because I know some of the story he tells is true, and contrary to what I replied to him and everything. But he mostly made a bunch of shit up at some degree. Like this guy is from Doom World. He's
mhm,
like the coder of like some Doom Source Sports or something like that. And he's telling
sure.
me I doxed him when I was a forerunner, and like he'll never forgive me for that shit. And like, yeah, bro, I what I did to this guy when I was a forerunner was like he had this public Twitter profile, or whatever, which
Mhm,
has a face of his on like the profile picture, and I decided to like mock his looks, like it's like your
Sure. Yeah.
usual
I
kind of
mean,
like white
yeah.
nerd dude, to be frankly honest, but still, um, but even then, like doxing him, his profile picture was public, and he had like
Yeah.
his
Right. Yeah.
name
Yeah.
public on Twitter for some reason, like.
Yeah. Right. You can't claim doxing if all the person is doing is commenting on something that you put out already.
No, it was already there. And like all
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
was like mock him on
Yeah. No. No.
like
No. I mean,
on a
that you
stream
put
or
out already,
whatever.
meaning the person that's claiming to be doxxed is saying that, like, oh, well, they doxed me because they made some comment on this thing, but the thing is something they themselves already put out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was information that they released.
yeah. Like
You can't
his
claim
profile picture
doxing.
too.
You can't claim doxing if you did it yourself.
No, yeah, like that was my point. Like he's making a bunch of stuff up just because he spites me and like the entire Doomworld community does. At least like the admins of Doomworld or something. Like I know Major Erlene is having like a problem with me. Or, like I had to block her to avoid like her obviously messing with me or whatever. But like
Mm,
they spite me for like no reason, even though I just trying to come clean about being a using to be a fascist or whatever, like trying to be a better person in general in that community. But
yeah,
like Jesus, they can't let go of my past shit,
yeah.
and
Yeah, well,
it gets icky.
that's what I was saying. Going along with the obsession with genetics, that like they are very fueled by um, uh, they're very fueled by revenge because again, like they don't
Yeah,
believe
but
that.
they're like not fascists or whatever. They're just regular like progressive Doom World members or like something like that. Except sometimes they go to like edgy humor. Sometimes I guess, but like they're like the somehow the most progressive members of Doom World, and they yet somehow feel like they need to avenge me for against me for some fucking reason. Like
Mm,
it's fucking weird how they keep like this crush on me forever, even though I changed so far and I proven I changed so far to be a better person. But like,
yeah,
they just keep it. They just somewhat keep it at this point. It's getting ugly at this point, where like they have to obviously fucking make shit up about me.
yeah. Well, it's once you've been in those circles,
delivery,
it's
and
just
can you make sure
it's going to be
whether
very
the
hard
outfit dice book,
to
please?
get them to stop.
Yeah. What was that?
Once you've been in their circles, it's just going to get them. It's just going to be very hard to get them to stop, and you may never be able to.
Oh yeah, you're getting like troll calls or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. How come anyway?
And what? No, 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 not me. I was saying, like you were talking about these people being after you, and I was saying that, like, once you've been in those circles, it's going to be very hard to get them to stop.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
you may never be able to actually get them to stop.
What I meant was you suddenly had like a pizza delivery thing over there.
Delivery? What?
Someone like it was like someone else's voice over your like your side or whatever for some reason.
Oh, on my camera? No, I all I heard was the dogs were barking in the other room.
Yeah, that's weird. How the hell did I get some guy like telling me about some pizza delivery or something?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe some kind of crosstalk.
I don't know. It's just weird. Okay, I do really hope that doesn't appear like the final recording of this. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. On that subject, I think it probably. I mean, I might not be surprised if these Doom World people are still looking at my fucking GUI farms or whatever. You know.
Yeah, Sure.
And then it's how the
Well,
fuck.
and that whole process of like maintaining like the like um, something like Kiwi Farms, like the like this is a wiki of all the like people that we think are shitty is very much a part of that
Yeah,
whole
it's like
ethos.
a game where they race to who they can make kill themselves the
That
fastest, you
whole
know?
well, it's that whole, like I said, it's that whole ethos of like needing revenge because they're tied up in
Yeah,
this notion of people not changing, like that.
yeah,
You know, we need to make sure that like that we maintain this record of these other people being shitty because you know whatever you do is forever because like it was decided like in your dad's nutsack before
yeah,
before uh, you know before you were even conceived.
yeah. I get you. Yeah, okay. So let's get to the new segment of today. It's not much, but I got this one. Apparently, Elon Musk is a goddamn fucking racist, and I can pass you the news that appeared on Twitter. Apparently, I think I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's fucking going on with Twitter anyway because I think it's probably broken or something. But like here it is. Give me a second and I'll read the actual thing for here. I think probably Twitter is fucking broken or something. I have no fucking clue. Give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Okay, it's fucking working. I don't know why the fuck wasn't it working before, but California is suing Elon Musk's Tesla, alleging it runs a racially segregated workplace and discriminates against black employees. Black workers report being concentrated in parts of its factory, one called the plantation by all the workers, and hearing slurs up to 100 times daily. We
Oh
all
yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah, Tesla has faced multiple discrimination lawsuits in recent years. In the 2021, they ordered to pay $137 million to a black man who reported racist harassment, 6 women suing for sexual harassment, and a black woman who is also suing over rampant racism conditions like Jim Crow era.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the Tesla factory conditions are pretty grim.
well,
Uh,
especially for a guy who
that
doesn't invent his own shit.
yeah, and that yeah, all of that got to change. Uh,
Fucking hell. It's gotta change. Obviously, it's gotta fucking change.
yeah,
What like it does this why do we keep fucking dickheads like these, like Elon Musk, just fucking controlling how the stock market goes and how the cryptocurrency market goes and everything? Well, like he's acting like a fucking dick like this. This is
yeah.
like a fucking man child on steroids, you know?
Well, I think a lot of it, a lot of the problems that we deal with have to do with the sort of the well, it goes back to the meritocracy, like I was talking about the video that I'm
Yeah.
working on. That like we as a society are like have long before the term meritocracy was even coined.
Yeah.
Um, uh, we've been just very conditioned to just kind of accept the idea that like, oh well, whatever is happening is good and right because because the people in power are the ones doing it, right? Like the divine right of kings, like, oh well, obviously this is correct because the king did it. Like, yeah, no, that's not how anything works.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very much the way that people think because you know um, it is
Yeah, we're being conditioned into it for so long, isn't it?
right, when you grow up in the culture that says those things,
Yeah.
it's very hard to like to fight that urge to
Yeah.
just sort of go along
Mm-hmm.
with that conditioning.
Well, and like it's I think we're also being conditioned into like treating marginalized people like people of color like this in such a way that we have Tesla factories segregating black workers and shit, which wow, that's that's not surprising, isn't it? To for like a dick like Elon
Yeah,
Musk to act like a fucking dick.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't surprise me at all. No.
Well, yeah, that's a cookie that crumbles in a way. You know, you never know. Maybe Elon Musk gonna start whipping the cracking the whip or something, or I don't know. Maybe he's gonna hire a bunch of people to crack whips. Who the fuck knows? So if this it will get worse at some degree. It will definitely get worse unless something is done about it. And like oh boy, you know, calling like a factory called a plantation.
Right.
Who in the
Yeah.
right mind does that in like 2022?
Right. Was that like? Were they saying that Elon Musk himself had like nicknamed it that?
No, it's just being called the plantation by other workers for some reason. I don't know, it's just like Tesla culture or whatever, but it's really icky.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's
yeah,
that's
really icky.
yeah. Yeah. It seems like
Really icky.
it's got to be an indication of some kind of problem.
Well, it sounds like an everything problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the new segment for today. And like honestly, I couldn't have much more for this episode. So thank you everyone for watching and listening to the JMA Laugh Deluxe podcast. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever that is, our website, jma.tv. And yeah, you can obviously check that shit out as well. By the way, this has been JMA and Sam Dealey on the podcast for now. So I'll see
Hey,
you in the next episode with another guest. See you around. Bye.
have a good one.